Hi, we produce this show every week because we want B2B marketing to be a respected management science around the world. It's not. We want it to become, and we want to play a role in helping get there. Obviously it'll take thousands or millions of people to get there. We want to be one of those voices. As a part of that, I went looking for samples of go-to-market strategies. And in the top 5 results, I didn't find a single go-to-market strategy sample. What I found was a whole bunch of theory about the process that you should use to form your plan. Now, I get that because we do theory as well. But if we're going to get great, we need to share our plans, I believe. And so if no one's willing to share theirs, I'm going to share mine. A go-to-market strategy needs to show the objectives, the problem that you solve, who you solve it for, and that's your target, how you solve it, that's obviously a solution, who else solves it, and why you'll win or how you'll win, that's your competition, the number of deals in the backward math, that's your velocity, the tactics that you will use to generate that velocity, and the measures that you will use to govern execution. So again, that's all theory on process. I promise you I'm going to show you my strategy against those same measures, those same headings. Let me show you 5 articles that I did find, but I'm going to be super brief because they were all disappointing. Certainly they have some points to make about that process, but I'm going to be brief because then I want to spend a bit of time showing you our go-to-market strategy. Before I make any comment about any of these articles, I quickly want to say my comments are not a criticism of these articles. None of them set out to provide a go-to-market strategy sample. I went searching for go-to-market strategy samples and basically Google found none. What it showed me was a whole list of interesting sites, interesting articles, but not one of them was a sample. Developing a winning go-to-market strategy. Again, great, but thanks Colt Branding Company, it's not what we were looking for on this day. Again, not a criticism of your article. The 7-step go-to-market strategy. Great, but no sample. How to define a go-to-market strategy? Well, you know it's not going to be a sample. What does a good marketing plan look like? Interesting dialogue, but no samples. And 4-quadrant, again, things you need to do. Interesting list of blog articles, not one of them providing a sample. So all up, disappointing. Again, not a criticism of any of those contributors to whom I'm nonetheless grateful for your contributions. But on this day I was looking for samples and I found none. All right, I told you I was going to be brief because there was nothing there by way of a sample of a go-to-market strategy. So as I said at the top of the show, I'm going to show you our own. Quick context. We've got training, we've got a consulting business, we've got an execution business. I'm not showing you the plans for any of those 3. It's the plans for our newest part, which is the do-it-yourself funnel plan. Again, more context in regard to funnel plan. The actual funnel plan has been used by us and then by our channel of consultants and then by some corporates to build plans. So we've got about 1,500 plans now in funnel plan as at 4th of July 2016 when I'm doing this recording. But the do-it-yourself version for us is brand new. So this is the plan for a brand new, yet to be launched publicly, part of the business that I think will give you a great example of what needs to go in a go-to-market strategy. Objectives. We want 1,000 users by the end of December 2016. Again, I'm excluding the 1,500 we already have and more that we'll gain with our consulting and training businesses. This is 1,000 do-it-yourself users. 10,000 by early 2018, 100,000 by early 2019. And we want 10,000 of those to be paying. My sales and marketing engine is underperforming and I can't afford the level of expertise I need to fix it. I think that's kind of key because our consulting business is one of the consultants or one of the means by which you can get that fixed. But the do-it-yourself version is specifically for people who can't afford to spend money on consultants like us. Now, for whom are we solving that? Well, the ideal customer is B2B, Their sales and marketing process is relatively complex, so the buying process is complex. They're English speaking, for the moment at least. Their product market fit has already been established, because frankly, if product market fit hasn't been established, you don't need a plan, you need to go and fix your product market fit. And they're poised for growth. Where do we think we're going to find them? Segments. CEO of small businesses, because they can't afford to buy or pay for consultants like us. Sales or marketing leader for a small segment in a large business. Now this one's a little bit weird. Think about large businesses. Some of our clients are super huge companies, 10, 15, 20, $100 billion revenues. But there are lots of people within those businesses who, although they're working in these huge businesses that can afford consultants, that small part of that business cannot. Head of sales, marketing or strategy in a larger business, because they will take our tool as an enablement tool across the broader business. Head of partner enablement in large channel-driven businesses, and the owner of agencies. That's who we think we're going to serve with the do-it-yourself funnel plan. How do we solve it? Well, of course, it's the do-it-yourself funnel plan. It's an online application that helps you build a plan by leading the user through 9 proven planning steps, encourages the user to get some collaborators involved in the planning process, and allows the plan to be presented easily, completely, but succinctly. It's a one-page. Measures the plan, so it links to the CRM, reports on plan versus actual velocity, and it identifies the actual lag and leakage versus the plan. So what's actually happening in your funnel. And then it provides AI-driven coaching for improvement. It uses aggregated data so that we don't share anybody's confidential data, only aggregated data from 100 similar companies. It compares your plan to that aggregate, and then it identifies areas for improvement every week. Plus you can have optional consulting, training and execution and a free trial. We chose to go with limited functionality rather than limited time. You probably know with the software as a service model, you can have either constrained functionality forever, or you can have the whole functionality for a short period of time. We chose to do the constrained functionality forever. Now, against who are we competing? Well, mostly it's do-it-yourself. Smart person with Word, Excel or PowerPoint. That's our biggest competitor. Highly paid consultants, somewhere are a competitor, but really we're trying to serve the needs of people who can't afford highly paid consultants. If they can afford the highly paid consultants, they should use them. And then the consultants should use our funnel plan. Books and courses. There are some online planning tools and some offline planning tools for that matter that have a go-to-market component. I guess they're a competitor as well. How will we win? Well, our planning process is more proven than any of those. We've done over 400 engagements and we have over 1,500 plans. In time, that will be a much larger number. It's a one-page plan rather than a lengthy tome as the output. It uses deep data to provide fact-driven coaching rather than anecdote or theory, and it's super affordable. Now, what velocity do we need? Now, I'm going to be a little bit coy here because some of this is a little bit confidential, but I want to give you some highlights to honour this notion of sharing. We want 2,000 and then 10,000 and then 50,000 over the next 3 years monthly visitors to a microsite. Now, we actually get a lot more than that to our website today. That is a lot more than the 2,000. These are monthly visitors. We get a lot more than that today to the website, but we've got other markets and other segments to serve. So we need 2,000 of the larger number that visit our website to visit the microsite. For all that, it seems easy enough. Then 15% of visitors sign up to the free trial, 15% upgrade from the trial to the paid version, and a roughly 7% monthly churn after the first 60 days. So that's the velocity we need to generate. What tactics are we going to use to generate that velocity? Let me pause just very briefly. I'm going into theory here, but I'm showing you a sample. Let me try and draw a quick theory comment from the sample, and that is your tactics don't matter at all if you don't know what velocity you're trying to generate. You need to know the velocity first. That's why I showed it to you. Now, what are the tactics? Well, to find new names, to some extent we don't have to find very many names because most of our work is going to be inbound. I'm also excluding the enterprise market from this plan, it's a separate plan and it has separate objectives and separate measurements. So therefore we're left with encourage collaborators to give each, encourage collaborators, so when you build a plan I will encourage you to bring others in, and when they come in we'll give them each a free trial plan of their own. That's one of the ways we will find new names. How do we plan to position in the category? Well, video blogging on YouTube, what I'm doing today, search engine optimization of the transcript of that blog, paid social posts, paid search ads and paid display ads, and mentions from bloggers. How will we gain interest? Visits to optimised landing pages. That is, we'll know that you're interested if you come to the landing page. Gap acknowledged. This is how do we get you troubled about the limitations of the current approach. Video and graphical messaging on the landing pages will have to do most of the work, to be frank. We'll include some visible what you are missing functionality inside the application, so you'll be able to see what you could have with a paid version, even though you can't use it until you pay. Now part of that's being magnanimous, part of that's being trying to create an incentive for you to upgrade as well. There'll also be larger assets on various of our microsites and landing pages with email streams which needle the known gaps, including lack of process, it's unclear what's working, lack of budget, I can't afford great consultants, and a free trial with amazing onboarding. We don't have it there at the moment, but we've got the tool in place and we're investing in creating some super onboarding because the first 60 days really matters. How we get the need agreed? By the way, I don't want to undersell this. We'll have it in place within a week. So by the time you watch this video, the onboarding will be in place and improved constantly. I didn't want to dissuade you from taking a trial because I'm going to obviously ask you to take a trial at the end of this. How we get the need agreed? The coaching fixes will include help that you can apply, or some of the help that you can apply to the free only version, but also some that can only be applied if you have the paid version. How will the offer be understood? By providing a clear upgrade path to more features and or more plans, and strong volume breaks to encourage deeper and broader use. How will we gain preference? By providing social proof on the upgrade pages, including the known logos of users and quotes from current users. Maybe even videos from current users, who knows. Decision made, very small monthly fee and super low friction, there's no lock-in. So why did I show you so much of what ought be private? I mentioned at the top of the show, we are genuinely setting out as a company to make a big contribution to making B2B marketing a respected management science around the world. And we can't do that if we keep secrets. So I invest every week in this show, but also sharing our own plan does a couple of things. Firstly, it does give you a sample to work with, so you can see what I think a good go-to-market strategy looks like. You need at least one sample. There it is. But also, because I'm going to invite you to be part of the journey. If, like me, you would like B2B marketing to be better, then there's a few things that you can do. For yourself, go get a free funnel plan. Here's the link, it's funnelplan.com. Go get a copy. It is free. You know that I'm going to invite you to upgrade, but the free one's good enough. So go do that. That's the first thing for yourself. Then share your results. Show others your plan and invite comment. Or if you like, send it to me. Make a comment if you're watching this in LinkedIn or in Facebook or on our website or on YouTube, wherever you are at the moment right now, put a comment in. I will see it and I'll respond to it, and then we can offline message. Give me a copy of your plan and then I'll review it online. So your plan will become public if you want. If you don't want, then don't send it to me. But if you want, I'll make your plan public and I'll comment and I'll provide some free coaching for you, and in the process, help others to build a great go-to-market plan. Lots of options there, but basically join me in the journey. Either build a plan and share it, or build a plan, send it to me and I'll share it. Either way, there's an invitation for you and a challenge. I hope you got value out of this week's show. I kind of bared my soul a little bit. I hope that was useful for you. Lots more lined up for next week, and until then, may your funnel be full and always flowing. Our thanks this week to Kim Nguyen for research. To our contributors, guys, I'm not going to mention the names, but let me be really clear. I wasn't having a go at anybody about what they've provided. They've all provided great theory. Google failed to find a go-to-market strategy sample to show us in the top 5 results because no one's sharing. So no criticism. Thank you though for your contributions to the theory at least. Thank you Annika Dobby for your endlessly good production. My name's Hugh McFarlane and it was my absolute pleasure to script and present this week's show.